Multiplying and dividing. Multiplying and dividing fractions. How comfortable are you with multiplying and dividing fractions?
I'm not that confident.
You're not that confident?
No.
Can I help? Okay, so let's look at problem number 1 right here. What is it asking you to do? Multiply. How do you multiply fractions? So is this two fractions set equal to each other? It's just two fractions multiplying. So how do you multiply fractions?
Cross.
Yes. Multiply straight across. If I'm multiplying straight across, what do I do right here? What do I get?
You get 15 over 28.
15 over 28. Done. How is it any different if I were to multiply rational expressions instead of just fractions? Aren't these just fractions? So are my steps any different? Then what's 2 times x?
2x.
I'm going to beg you not to make this harder than it is. What is x minus 4 times x plus 1?
X squared? No, it's x minus 4.
Yes, it is. It's just x minus 4 times x plus 1. Haven't we practiced enough multiply, 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 distributive property, Haven't we practiced that enough? Guys, sometimes we want these factored so that I can see common factors so I can simplify stuff. This is the answer. There's no need to go any further than this. Thank you. Does that make sense? So that's it. That's the answer. Look at number 2. How is number 2 different than number 1? Yeah, it's not, is it? Does it look different than number 1?
Yes.
Yes.
2 over 1.
It's just 2 over 1. And then what do? Multiply straight across. It's a little kind of diagonal, not so much straight, but it's still straight, right? 2 times 4? 1 times 9? 9. We multiply.
Straight across.
So even when it's rational expressions, we just multiply straight across? What's 3 times 8? What is 1 times x plus 6? Done. Questions? Well, what about this one? This one's way different, right?
A little bit.
Just a little bit, right? Because it's not just a 1, it's not just a 5, it's not just a 3. But don't I just put it over 1 and then multiply straight across? Again, we're not making this harder than it is. I'm just going to leave it 8 times x plus 1 over x plus 6. And then, yeah, you're done, right? You're done. Okay so far. Then a problem shows up like this. And what do you think you might be able to do? Multiply straight across for sure, right?
You can
Oh,
simplify.
we could simplify first. Wouldn't that make things a little bit easier if I simplified first? What would I simplify? In this problem, what would I simplify? The 4's, right? Because what's 4 divided by 4? 1. And what's 4 divided by 4? 1. Now when I multiply straight across, what do I get? 1 over 9. If I would have multiplied straight across from the beginning, I would have gotten 4 over 36. Except 4 over 36 simplifies to 1 over 9. So by simplifying first, I'm making the problem easier on myself. So I need to first simplify common. Simplify common what? And then after I simplify common factors, what do? Very good. Okay. So in this problem right here, What should I do first? Is there any common factors?
3.
Is there any common factors? I'm not asking if there's any common numbers. I'm asking, is there any common factors? That is correct. Yes, that's correct. Okay? Because at first people were saying 3, right? But I said, no, I'm not talking about common numbers. I'm saying, is there any common factors? And the common factor is x plus 3 and x plus 3. So when I cross out an x plus 3 and an x plus 3, what's left in its place?
1.
A 1 and a 1, right? Now when I go to multiply straight across, because there's nothing else that has a common factor, correct? What do I have left? 1 times 2x. And what? X minus 1. Okay so far? Okay. What about number 4? We need to simplify first. What can I simplify first?
The 5 and 15.
The 5 and 15, what's left to 5 factor out of 5?
1.
And what's left to 5 factor out of 5? 3. Now what? Oh, 4 and 6, right? Can I just cross out the 4 and cross out the 6? What's left?
Well, it would be a 2 and a 3, right?
Good, because the common factor is what?
5.
2, right? They're both divisible by 2. So I have a 2 left here and a 3 left here. So now that everything, oh, wait, there's 2 3s. Can't I cross out these 2 3s? Why not?
Because they're side by side.
They're both in the denominator, right? You can only cancel out, simplify common factors when one is where and one is where. One is in the numerator, one is in the denominator. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
So now when I multiply straight across, what do I get?
2 over 9.
2 over 9. So what did we do?
Made it smaller.
What were our steps?
Simplify.
Can I do this? Same steps as there? You okay with that? So then a problem like this shows up. And most of the time, the first time you see a problem like this, you panic. Right? What should I do first?
You would simplify the 2 and 8, right?
Well, I'm right here.
Oh, I thought you were going to.
Nope, not yet. I'm not there yet. I'm here. In order to be able to simplify common factors, I have to know the factors, don't I? Do I know the factors of this? Yeah, it's just x minus 3. Do I know the factors of this? Yeah, it's just x plus 5, right? Do I know the factors of this? I have to factor it, don't I? What multiplies to be 20 and adds to be 9? 5 and 4. So x plus 5 and x plus 4. I'm going to cross this out now because I don't want to still think I'm working with that. I factored it. Now I need to ignore that part, right? Do I know all the factors of this? Is it just like these up here?
No.
Or is there a common factor here? Aren't both of these divisible by 2? So if I factor out a 2, what's left? Try one more time. X minus 3. Now I factored it, so I'm going to cross it out. Now, are there any common factors in the numerator and in the denominator? X minus 3? Is there any other common factors in the numerator and the denominator? X plus 5. Now, we've been a little lazy this time with our notation because all we did was cross out an x minus 3 and cross out an x minus 5. I'll tell you that the most popular incorrect answer so far has been that. That's the most popular incorrect answer. Why is it incorrect?
The 2 in each box.
Well, I just put the 2 in front because that looks nicer.
Alright.
What's missing? Yeah, a numerator, right?
Oh,
What's left in the numerator when I cross out an x minus 3 and an x minus 3? Isn't there a 1 left both places? What's left when I cross out an x plus 5 and an x plus 5?
There's a 1.
A 1. So isn't there still something in the numerator? What is it? A 1. Please don't forget about that. Okay? Now, I need to take a quick commercial break. Can I do that? Okay. And I'm going to take a commercial break by writing this answer for you real quick. I'm just writing it over here to the side. Okay? I'm going to move this so we're just talking about a commercial. Okay? And I need to caution you and warn you and say, beware, beware. Because I can't tell you how many times that we get to this answer and people want to cross out these x's. Because there's an x in the numerator and an x in the denominator. Can we do this? We can only simplify common factors, right? We wrote that. We wrote only simplify common factors. Is x a factor of x minus 1? No, it's part of this number. Can I show you something ridiculous? If you can factor this way, if you can factor out these two x's, you can also simplify this fraction by crossing out the 1's. And by crossing out this side so that your answer is...
What?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it? You can't do that. You know you can't cross out parts of numbers, except really what you're doing by this is the same as this. You're crossing out a part of a number. Now this is a factor, and that's fine, but this is not a factor. This is part of the number x minus 1. If there's being something added or subtracted to that number, it is not a factor. The whole thing is the factor. X minus 1 is the factor. And unless there's another x minus 1 up here, can I cross out the x at all? No. Can I cross out the x minus 1 now?
Yeah. Wait.
No. Why can I not cross out the x minus 1 now? Theirs is a 2x minus 1. If you're going to cross out the x minus 1s, you're doing 17 over 19. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you this is ridiculous, and I know it, and I'm showing it to you anyways because I need you to compare that in your mind to trying to cross out these x minus 1s or trying to cross out these x's. That's just as ridiculous. Does that make sense? Okay, so back to the show. We've done multiply, 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 and now divide. Do we ever divide fractions? No, we don't, do we? What do we do instead of dividing fractions? Multiply by what? Multiply by the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal? So we take the fraction, we flip it over, right? It's 8 over 1. Now, Kirsten, how did you know to flip this one? It's what we're dividing by. That's just what you do, right? You know that. That's what we're doing. We're multiplying by the reciprocal of what we are dividing by to begin with. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross out the 1 and put an 8. And I'm going to cross out the 8 and put a 1. And then I'm going to multiply. How do I multiply fractions? So what do we get? 16 over 3. What if it's a rational expression? Are the rules any different? No. I'm going to cross out the 5 and write what? And I'm going to cross out the x minus 2 and write what? 5. Am I ready to multiply this problem yet? I need to factor everything before I multiply, don't I? Can I factor this right here? Yes, because both terms are divisible by 2. So if I factor out a 2, what's left? X plus 2, right? Now, are there any factors I can simplify? I mean, this one's an x plus 2 and this one's an x minus 2. Isn't that close enough? Oh, no. Plus, both of them are in the numerator, right? So even if they were exactly the same, I still couldn't simplify them, could I? Are there any factors I can simplify? Then what do? Multiply straight across. 2 times x plus 2 times x minus 2 over 5 times x plus 3. That's just the answer. God bless you. Any questions? One more. What do? Multiply by the reciprocal, right? So this is an 8, this is a 1, and I multiply. What do I get? Oh, wait, do I want to multiply right away?
No, because now you can simplify the 2.
You could, right? You can simplify the 2 and the 8. Now what do?
12, 9,
Is that okay? Can I leave it like that, or do I need to put 12 over 1? They're exactly the same, aren't they? Okay. One is just in fraction form, and one is not in fraction form. They're the same answer, though, aren't they? Okay. So what do I do here? I can factor, but I remember I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to write the x minus 7 down here. And instead of crossing out x squared plus 4x plus 3 and writing x squared plus 4x plus 3, how about if I write x plus 1 and x plus 3 up here? Why would I do that? It saved me a step, didn't it? I factored it and then wrote the factors instead of writing the actual problem. Now, is there anything I can simplify? X plus 3 and x plus 3. Is there anything else I can simplify? These x's? Can I cross out these x's? Are you positive? Very good. What's left? Now can I cross out these x's? No, still not, right? Questions? You good? Look at problem number 1 right here. What should I do first? Factor, right? Can I factor 8? No. Can I factor 4x minus 12? What does it factor to? Well, I can factor out of 4, right? What's left if I factor out of 4? X minus 3. And now what? Can I simplify the 8 and the 4? Yes, because they are both factors, right? Nothing is being added or subtracted to the 8 or the 4, right? So this becomes a 1 and this becomes a 2. So my answer is 2 over x minus 3. So we practice multiplying and dividing, but now I'm making sure we know how to simplify. Is that all right? What about this one? Number 2, what do I do here? Factor what? If I factor out of 3, what's left? Close. 2x plus 5, right? Now what can I do? Simplify what? The 3's? Please tell me what is the most popular incorrect answer to this question. 2x plus 5 is the most popular incorrect answer to this question. What is the correct answer to this question? Very good. 1 over. Because we have a 1 here and we have a 1 here, don't we? Okay. Please look at number 5 right here. What do I do here? Factor? What do I factor out? So x minus 4. What do I factor out of the denominator? What do they both have? An x. What's left if I factor out an x? X minus 4. Now what? Can I factor out? Can I cancel out these x's? No. What can I factor out? Or what can I cancel out? X minus 4 and x minus 4. I'm not canceling out the individual parts, right? I'm not simplifying the individual parts. I'm simplifying the number x plus 4 and the number x plus 4. So what's left? 3 over x. What about number 6? Can't do anything to the numerator, can I? What can I do to the denominator? You've got to recognize that this is the difference of squares. How do we factor the difference of squares? X plus 5, x minus 5. What can be simplified? X plus 5, and what's left? Very good. Let's also look at number 7. What do I do on number 7? By 4, right? What's left? X plus 2. What about this? How do I factor a trinomial when the leading coefficient is not 1? AC, what's AC?
3 and 4, or negative 4.
So negative 12. And what's B? 4. What two numbers multiply to be negative 12 and add to be 4? Negative 2 and 6. Now I factor by grouping, right? First 2 and last 2. What's common in the first 2? So what's left if I factor out a 3x? X plus 2, good. What's common in the last 2? Negative 2, right? We know have to have what left in the parentheses? An x plus 2, right? Now what's common in these two terms? An x plus 2, and what's left over if I factor out an x plus 2? So now what simplifies up here? X plus 2, x plus 2. So what we have left is 4 over 3x minus 2. Any questions? Would you turn to the back and please circle number 2, number 3, number 4 and 5, and 8 and 9. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Any questions?